Russ.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope I'm audible to everybody. Please put a note in the chat box if I'm not, so that we may begin today's session.
You are audible, ma'am. You can continue.
Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon once again, everybody. On behalf of the Women and Young Members Excellence Committee of ICAI, I extend a warm welcome to all of you to this Sky High Symposium series. It is a platform created by the committee to share technical updates, enhance non technical skills, and encourage our members to confidently express their fora. This initiative aims to empower and inspire our members to step forward and make the most of their abilities. Chairperson of WYMEC is CA Preeti Savla, who is also Chairperson of Sustainability Reporting Standards Board and Vice Chairperson of Valuation Standards Board for the year 23-24. Vice Chairperson of WYMEC is CA Abhay Chhajed, who is also Chairman of Commercial Laws Economic Advisory and NPO Cooperatives and Vice Chairman of Accounting Standards Board. This Wednesday program series has been thoughtfully designed to nurture the growth and development of our cherished women and young members. Sky High Symposium is not just about technical updates, it's also a platform to cultivate non technical skills and empower our members to shine confidently on the public stage. Today's session holds the promise of enlightenment as we explore the area of professional opportunities for CAs in practice and introduction to AI and automation. Our today's speaker, CA Kashmira Nirmal, is a true authority in this field and she graces us with her insights. With this, let me give a brief introduction of CA Kashmira Nirmal. She is a chartered accountant based in Bangalore with more than 15 years of professional experience in implementing accounting technology, income tax, and CFO advisory functions for India, US, UAE, and Canada clients. She specializes in implementing cloud applications for finance and accounting processes along with its automation, US taxation and Canada taxation, software product consulting for global accounting or and tax compliance companies. Kashmira has in her career worked with various global and KPO companies in multiple roles across domain, service delivery, and product. She is currently serving as a co-opted member of Women and Young Members Empowerment Committee of ICAI. She has been a regular speaker on artificial intelligence and automation tools in CA practice at various ICAI events. She is currently managing partner at EcoTax Global Solutions, Bangalore. So I think in our today's speaker, we have the wonderful combination of chartered accountancy as well as technical experience. So let's welcome her. Kashmira ma'am, we welcome you to today's symposium. And I propose that you take ahead the presentation.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a great pleasure. I thank Honorable Chairperson CA Preeti Ben and Vice Chairman CH Abhayji and the whole team of Women and Young Members Excellence Committee to give me this opportunity to share my knowledge and thoughts on how to, leverage artificial intelligence and ride on the technology wave. And like I'm very happy to know this what series we are going through because I'm also a co-opted member of this W Young and Women Committee. So I know it's like a too much of hard work that the whole team is doing so that the young CAs and the women's they can have their soft skills developed as at the same time they can keep the pace with what the technology is moving around in the whole world. So I also thank the participants who have, joined this webinar and who have joined various other series to, update their skills, because we as a chartered accountant is not a field that we can just say that whenever we have studied a CA, there our journey ends for the knowledge. So it's every time the business is changing, we have to get ourselves updated. So definitely this type of web series are helping too much for the CAs to keep their pace with the current scenario. So I thank the participants, who are also taking out time. So that motivates the team to go forward with such type of seminars. So thank you. I'll just start, about what today we are going to cover. So a very good afternoon to everybody. So like today, I would just say that the topic that we are going to cover is the future of a CA practice using automation and artificial intelligence. So as I said that we need to keep pace, and that artificial intelligence is the new electricity that the whole world is experiencing. So we would today's we are going to discuss about the emerging opportunities for the CA practice and the dynamics. Like that the dynamics of our CA profession is changing, and we all know that to uh, we have to be with the current technology, so we need to change with the change. So and this change is not something that it's just bringing us discomfort. This change is bringing various opportunities for us to embrace. So firstly, I'll just say the agenda that we are going to follow for today's webinar would be the key trends in our accounting profession, the overview of artificial intelligence and automation in accounting, benefits of AI for CA practice in present and as well as in future that we can predict, new opportunities for CA accounting professionals, preparing a firm to become techno firm of the future, leveraging AI and technology tools for growing our practice. So these are the agenda for the today's seminar. So firstly, we'll just let you know that why we need to change. So the first part, like if you know, like whatever history any CA would have experienced, like especially 10 years plus who are into practice, they would have seen this three stages that we have gone through. First, like was the paper stage. Maybe the recent CAs who are like, 2 or 3 years member would have not gone through this stage. It would be an alien topic. But for the rest of the members, the stage was paper. When I say paper, it meant that we had big red registers which had index with the page numbers of the ledgers which were behind in the register. So it was a very long, tedious, manual, slow double entry system that we were following. And there was a challenge that the trial balance debit would not match sometimes to the credit of the trial balance. So this was the stage when I had started my articleship. So accountant when first was saying that, the company, the accounts has to be ready for an auditor, the first big task for him was to balance the trial balance. So it was something which nowadays the young members or the new generation would have never heard such a scenario. So this is what the stage was from which it moved to the desktop computer. So when I say desktop computer, because there was no mobility of data, what is the present scenario? So there was trial balance which was always tallied because it was on computer meant by a double entry. So like when it was a manual, sometimes the accountant will forget that he has posted the debit entry in the ledger but not posted the credit entry. But in a desktop computer, when the software was made, it was meant to be tallied. Means you cannot post any entry when the debit and credit is not matched. So suppose if you're making a depreciation entry, which you normally would have seen is a long list of assets that you debit and then there's a credit. So the total sometimes would not match. So the moment it is unmatched thing in a desktop computer software, the entry would not get posted. So they will show you that there's a difference. So that took care at the entry level that the trial balance at the end stage when you are doing monthly trial balance or maybe annual, the trial balance will be always tallied. So that was the challenge which was there in the first stage, which was taken care of in the desktop computer stage. But again, the challenge was there that there's no mobility of data. So it was a standalone desktop. So a person has to go to that desktop to get the data. But now where we are like in the cloud accounting area, the data is available anywhere, anytime. So the the challenge which we had during the desktop computer stage has been taken care of. But again, there's a lot of manual entries, which is like very monotonous and repetitive entries, which had to be done one by one. So that challenge also, with the more trend coming up in the cloud accounting, has been taken care of. So now there's no manual entry. So the input source documents directly can be imported in bulk. In bulk means when you can have an invoices, suppose maybe a list of 200 invoices in an Excel sheet can be directly imported into the cloud software, and all sales entry can be posted. So this has increased the speed. Secondly, the accounting error has been taken care of, so the accuracy is there. And the third, it is the mobility of the data. So at the same time, the same data file of a company, 5 people can work simultaneously, which was not the case in the desktop computer. So there were a lot of other enhancements. The challenges were taken care of, as well as there are a lot of enhancements that has come in the cloud accounting era. So because of that, you would have seen that last couple of years before we had a COVID situation. So desktop computer software had a challenge that, if you are not able to go to the office, you are not able to cater to the client's file, and do the accounting. But if you are using a cloud software, you were able to access the client file sitting at your home and serve the client. So this is something, an enhancement which everybody should now in this stage should go for, so that it gives you a lot of capabilities added to your practice, and the time what is spent on very mundane repetitive tasks can be reduced by doing import at a bulk level. So this is what the 3 stages we have covered. Now, just to go a little depth that why this has happened. So I would say the businesses has changed. When I say business all around, like if you just take a couple of examples, like one of my client was a trader. Like he used to sell goods when a customer is coming, walking into his store. But that is not the scenario now. So initially, when I have to do the accounting for that particular trader, it would be just to take his cash register. But now scenario in like 2022 or 2023, he is having his own website to sell the goods. He has a walk-in customer, what he had before. And plus on that, there are Amazon, Flipkart, and there are a lot of other sales channels that he has opened up to. So this adds to the accounting effect that when we are doing the total sales, it's not just restricted to the cash register or the credit card, but we have to look into the monthly or weekly settlements with these partner channels, like whatever I would say, like the Amazon or Flipkart. So we have to total up that all to get the total sales. And not just, that the sales channels have been expanded, but even the receipt mode of receipt has been also changed to Google Pay, Bharat Pay. So with cash register, you have to go through all these different flavors which has been added for the receipt. So all that businesses have added new different dimensions for us to include in the accounting. So why they have done it? If we just go into that little behind the evolution, the business have changed because they want to have a bigger market reach. So to expand that, they have gone global. They have gone on the websites where there are different platforms which do the marketing for their products. At the same time, their profit has increased because the cost of doing the marketing on them has been shifted to the portal where they are having their goods sales. So this has given them more important. They are able to give better customer satisfaction. So these are the way that the businesses have evolved to grow, and that's the reason when it comes on the other side, the accounting has also changed. So when I say this, when the goods trader example, the other example also, that about a restaurant owner. So restaurant owner also initially, like it was just walk-in customers who would come and dine in the restaurants, and that is the sales. And then later on, maybe delivery option started because of the space requirement that they had. But now, if you see, there's Zomato, Swiggy, and lot of other ways where a small Rekdiwala also is, listed on a platform with a very big branded restaurant owner. So this not only gets the parity, it gives an equal option for a customer to opt from both, which can be a very small business restaurant owner to a very at the same platform listed with a very big branded restaurant owner. So this has come very good for the businesses that everybody is treated at par. At the same time, it has enhanced and given a different dimension to the accounting. So, as I said, simultaneously with the businesses, why the accounting has changed. So, accounting now, basically, as I took into for a few of the examples, these are the different challenges that has come into the accounting stream, that we have to take care of all the different types of receipts coming from different partner channels. At the same time, you have to acclimate all those things for the sales when it comes to receipts. At the same for the payments. For the payments also, there are very different ways of payments being done by the client. So all that has to be included in your accounting. But in the accounting, when we are saying, if the client, I mean, we have not, the accounting firm has not gone into the cloud software, then it is very challenging when you are taking a desktop software to include all these things, because then you are taking a very long path to get all these things done. So that's why we have to adapt, and as they are moving to a different technology, adapting that. Similarly, in accounting, there are a lot of automatic tools and AI tools which we can include, so that our accounting process can be made very seamless and very effective, to give them very prompt outputs and the reports that they need. So in a nutshell, there is a huge change at the transaction level, and that's why the accounting has to be accordingly adapted. So now I'll just take you through five emerging trends that are there in the accounting. There is a rapid pace of technology adoption among businesses and clients. So use of artificial intelligence and automation in accounting process is something that we should look forward to it. And role for accountants should move from assurance to advisory services. And definitely accounting is going to become invisible. So there will be no need that you sit and do a double entry. So that's why we should move to some more gray area where we can use, that is to become a virtual CFO for our clients and move to the advisory services. And of course, you should think global. As our honorable Prime Minister is also saying that it is one country, it's like one, the whole world is a one family. So same way, we have to also look for, from a business perspective also, that world is one country, and just not look to the place where you are located. And so social media influence, that is also key India, which we have to think when we are thinking about our future practice. So as I said, like, we'll just go into one first trend, the rapid pace with which the business are changing. So of course, I gave you the example of the restaurant and the trader, how they are doing. So they are adopting technology at a very fast pace. And if you are not able to do, we'll be stuck with doing very less work, and we'll be missing out the other clients which we can absorb if we are using a better technology, or a better software. So sometimes the challenge is here because the data is scattered, because the invoices are coming from a separate software. The accounting is done by some other desktop software. The Excel is being used for preparing, profit and loss or the financials. And GST portal, we are using something different, portal, or maybe another software to do that. So the data is repetitively imported from one to exported to another software. So this takes a lot of time, as well as there are more chances of doing errors. So if we are not keeping the data scattered and make it unified, so that will help us to increase the accuracy and the pace at what we can work. So we should be using good tools. We should recommend to the clients to implement automation in the accounting process itself, by suggesting them good cloud softwares, so that everything can come under one roof. So that is the rapid pace. Just take you to a glance, like, what are the different various sectors where the innovation has come and how we can adapt. So as I've already discussed about the restaurants, like they have gone to Swiggy and Zomato portal, so it becomes a unified portal to aggregate their restaurants. Same way, if you see in the mobility sector, like, initially think about that there were so many hidden charges that our travel agent used to demand, and we were not even knowing that what amount we are paying for what thing, whether it was the tariff we are paying for the travel, or what is the extra charges that they are taking from us. But now, when this Ola and Uber platform has come in this taxi auto sector, it is very transparent. If you are traveling to other, like, if they are, you are very frequent traveler to unknown places where you don't have any connection with any travel agent, it becomes very standardized. It gives, I would say, the three important points that benefits that as a customer you are getting. First of all, there's a transparency upon the tariff. It would be definitely you are paying a competitive tariff, which is not extra. Second, you are very safe because there is a tracking device there, GPS is there, so you feel safe. And the third, the services are very standard services, so you'll not expect somebody, because they know if they do some misbehavement or anything, then the complaint is lodged. So accordingly, there are a lot of benefits which has come to the customer. At the same time, if you see from the taxi driver perspective, for them also they've got a bigger market share, so they don't have to depend upon their network, and there is some platform who is marketing for them. So it is mobility sector has come long way because of this technology what they have adopted. Goods, accordingly, I already discussed with you that Amazon and Flipkart and Big Basket is some of the things we are using in a personal day-to-day life. So we are getting the benefit of that. From a customer side, if you see, that you are buying something which is very cheap rate, or at a very proper amount. At the same time, you get a wide variety of options to shop, and you get the delivery at home. So these are all the benefits from the customer side that we are getting. And at the same time, if you say from the client side, who is a trader, for them, they are getting their goods marketed without their spending any marketing cost or showroom cost. So that is definitely reducing their cost. At the same time, they are at a portal where big brands are also there. So this actually, their sales are more dependent upon how the quality of the product is, rather than how the shop looks like. So it is a win-win situation for both, like for the customer, for the client also, and at the same time for the business also. So same way in real estate also, that when you are traveling now, you don't have to pay very extra amount for any resorts or hotels, because suppose if you're going for a travel visit, that you can go for OYO, because that is a very competitive one for a business class. They will have all the standard services that you expect them from. At the same time, that if you're going with a family, you have a different type of hotels, but again transparency is there. So all these various sectors, because of the technology and the different types of how they've included that in their businesses, that it has come to a wide, they have expanded very well. Their market has increased, and at the same time the customer satisfaction is something that has been maintained. So because of that, we as a customer are also very happy to uh, get the benefits of all this technology. So meanwhile, with the same thing, I'll go that artificial intelligence, how you can automation can be used in accounting. So artificial intelligence is nothing but it is technology by which you can, any repetitive task or wherever there is a following a pattern, you can leave it to the computer to do it in a faster speed. So this is there that you can increase your productivity through AI and automation tools to improve the process. When suppose if you are using an AI tool for doing some ledger scrutiny, so earlier which you have to do for a lot of calculations that you have to do, a lot of hours that you have to spend, using a AI or automation software, you can do it very fast. You have to just tell you the criteria that you're looking for. Any payments more than 20,000, if you just click it, you get it, at a fraction of second. So these are all the tools that we are using it, and it can, but only thing, the challenge is there, you should not have data scattered. So you have to make it, that all are connected. And then you can use all these tools to use all the repetitive mundane tasks, reconciliation, data entry, everything left to the software, which can do that in a very fast speed. So the role of accountants, you should move from assurance to advisory. Normally, right now, what the accountants are doing, that we are only looking through how that we can, just maintain our deadlines. Suppose if it's an income tax deadline coming on 31st July, so the only all offices will be targeting to finish the income tax returns. Same way, then what is the next deadline coming? So accordingly, we work for the compliance deadlines. So the accounting also is done very slow pace if you're not using a automated software. So we have to, as I said, like in near future, these all tools which are available in the market will make the accounting entry invisible. Like I would say that in my office, there are many non-CAs also, like non background of the commerce, even a non-commerce guy having a very nice effective tool given, can you do the accounting for me? Because the reason is that if there is a full template given where you have to just put all the data and just upload it, then all the entries for the sales is done. So there you don't require a knowledge of debit and credit. So 70 to 80% of the entries which are repetitive, which comes from bank, which are not JVs but which are coming from the bank or sales, or the repetitive payments what we are doing in the routine task, can all be done just using the software, not having any extra commerce background. So that is what is going to be in the future. So our task from the assurance should go to the advisory. Like you can see that even the income tax portal now are using the AI and automated tools. So you can see the income tax returns have been processed so fast. Earlier, I remember that whenever I used to do, suppose 2000, 2001 income tax returns that if I have done for my clients, normally I would not receive the fees till the next year. I do, the clients come back for the next accounting year or assessment year's return filing, because their returns are not get processed. So if you see from the business perspective, they would say that their return has not been processed or the refund they have not received. So this is what something that we had finished our task, but because the process was so long. But now if you see the technology that has been accepted by the income tax department, the returns are being get, like, it is just couple of months that we have finished our individual returns or partnership returns, and already people have started getting their refunds or returns process. So this is how, because they have used the technology, which the benefits even a chartered accountant is getting, that we are able to get our fees little faster, because according to the client the work has been taken care of. So that is how the technology will always make the work faster. And of course, income tax portals, we are getting some, they have some parameters by which they send some notices, but the whole lot where 70 to 80% all the work is streamlined and the checks are there in the software, the all returns get processed very fast. So the challenge now is like coming out that we should not be, the regular work has to be taken care of by the setting the patterns or rules we can set in the software, and use to upskill ourselves to move to a different value chain. So when I say that if I use a automated suppose software where I have a repeated, like if there's a rent expense that I pay to Mr. Sunil. So if that Mr. Sunil, if I do in the month of August, that is a rent expense. Next year, the same payment when it's coming in the bank, the accordingly my software will pop up as suggesting that this account had rent expense. You have to just click OK, and the accounting entry for the next month is also posted in rent expense. So this is how the patterns, the AI tools will accordingly see the pattern and pop up the right accounting entry that can be is possible for that transaction. So same way you can set some rules that when the repetitive exam vendors are for suppose stationery expense, or whatever expenses, you can just make the list of that and accordingly post, give the rules in your software, so that all 70 to 80% of entries can be taken care of whenever it pops up into your bank statement. Only the non-routine, the first time vendor, when it comes up, that is being asked, which you have to accordingly check the transaction, the supporting of it, and then pass the entry. So this is how that you can use the AI for the, and because accounting is nothing but it's a duplication. It's every time a repetitive transaction is only going to come. So you can use AI very efficiently in accounting to cater to all this 80 to 90% of the work that you do in bookkeeping. So you can set rules according to the vendors. You can set rules for the repetitive your internet expenses or telephone expenses, or that this narration coming in the bank statement reliance, so it is to be posted into internet expenses. So this type of level, if you do it, then the full for suppose if it's a accounting done to be done for 9 to 10 months, you can finish it off in 2-3 hours, just seeing the non-routine first time transaction detail which is coming up, and you can accordingly pass the entry for that. So this is how you can just move from your assurance to go to advisory level. So what does the advisory services that you can go for? So like if I say the initially when an auditor is to step into a client's office, we were looked like as an auditor like a fraud finder person. So people got very hesitant to share whatever, they have new um, things that they are coming up, or they have some challenges in the other than finance. But now if you see, the mindset of the business owners also have changed, how they look to us. They are not seeing us like, as we are a police officer or something, like fraud finder, but they look us as a advisor. So advisor means they look us as a doctor, to help them, guide them for the different. So even they will not even ask that, for banks, which bank to, they should go for, how they should approach for a working capital loan or something. But they will also ask us whether they should expand into a different product line. So these are different types of questions that they are asking us, and they feel that, we are as an partner to them. So they look forward as a, a virtual CFO, because they know that, we understand the whole market. At the same time, even if they want to expand into a different location, that is where also they are coming to us. So even for their how they used to perceive us initially, the whole mindset has changed. So I mean, being a CEO also, we should use that as a, benefit, and we should also shift from assurance to advisory functions, where we can guide them that yes, there are different places where their product, or they can expand their services, and not restrict to their specific location, or maybe the product or the goods that they are doing, and they can also expand. So because if the business is expanding, definitely it is an advantage for the CA, who is, maintaining their accounts, or doing their statutory audit. So this is how we should also look forward for different value chain. But it can only happen if you, use your routine, whatever you are right now occupied with, to use tools to reduce the time that you engage into that, and then the remaining time you can go for your, enhancing your value chain services. So when I say that you in going global is the next trend that is happening, you see your all clients now, you don't have their businesses just restricted to one city or one state. So they are expanding. So when they are expanding, and as I said in the previous slide, they look forward to take suggestions from us, and we guide them to, advise them to why not to go global and expand their business. We as a CA also should not restrict that our clients should be only in the city where we are located. We should also have that same perspective for our practice. So sitting in one, like I would say, all CAs, whenever we have our, office, we normally will, every CA are very proud of their, CA certificate, and we do have a CA certificate on the wall of our cabin. So same way, should have a map, world map in our cabin, so that we know that, that is our area that we should look forward, and that is that you should think global, and your practice should not be restricted only to the city or the clients where you can meet face to face, but also, like, because geography has become history now. So any businesses are not thinking just from the city or the nearby neighborhood to serve. Same way, we should also not just restrict ourselves to give our, CA practice services only to the city where, or the neighborhood where we are located, but to think global. Because I would say, like, because I have my clients in Dubai and Canada, US, overall the accounting is not different. It's more or less same. So definitely you can, with few added um, courses or something, you can go global, and people are looking forward to, unite with Indian CAs. Like, I remember last time when I had a seminar like this online, immediately by the time, I had just wrapped up, I get couple of messages from Dubai that they were looking for the seminars, they were attending that from Dubai. So think why they are looking for a, seminar that is being conducted by ICA, because they look forward to the CAs and they want to work with us, because VAT or, IFRS is something which we are doing it for our Indian clients, and the same is applicable there also. So of course, when our Indian CA is serving them, we do have the capabilities. At the same time, we are giving them, a little cheaper services compared to their the Dubai other accountants. So that's why it is a win-win situation again in our practice, when we say that they are getting the same services from us, and many times we can leverage on, the time difference what we have. So because of that also, there is lot of synergy that is there. Globally, people want to work with us. So we should also have that perspective to work, globally. And when I say that, it can be overseas and it can be, in within India also. So you should not just think that, if you are located in Delhi, you can have only Delhi or NCR clients. You can have in any part of India your clients. So that is how, the mindset, it can be only possible when you're using a cloud software, where the restriction is not there where the data lies, because then it has to be on cloud so that you can access it. So like if you know that, earlier people were having their own data server, but now people are using the, Gmails for having the emails, and, lot of data they exchange through the drive, which is, you can access it anywhere. So that's the only reason that I would say that going global can be possible if you're using technology, and that helps you to enhance your, you can serve a wider people. At the same time, like if you see our honorable president, ICA president Aniket Talati, they are also opening so many chapters, that you have like ICA chapter in Doha, New Zealand, 9 chapters are there itself in US. So all their places we are, have our presence over there. So people are aware about us. So there was outsourcing, earlier also happening, where people were getting work done, outsourced within India at some of the metro cities. But at the same time, now the CAs are not just, doing an outsourcing work where you are getting just as a subcontractor work. But now many my CA friends have their direct offices in Dubai and US and in London, because they see that, they can directly become a partner of this global accountants. So why to take, they are ready to take the full responsibility of it, and not to just have a, part of a share of the profit, but, to have a real partnership with the global partners. So we can, using lot of other LinkedIn and Twitter, we can go global and, get a direct clients globally. So that is how we should enhance, and, and we should move our practice. And the fifth trend, what is going on, is the social media influence. We all know that during COVID, definitely it came more powerfully, that we have seen that global media influence is, it is too high, and networking with peers within country and across, it's very easy now. So the challenge, like earlier people are just saying that social media, we can use it for personal space. We all use WhatsApp, we use Facebook. So, people are using Facebook groups only for their personal hobbies, or, personal space, but they are not using fully for, their practice, for the professional connections or network also. So if we should also see that LinkedIn, Twitter, all those social medias can be very effectively used for our businesses also, like for a CA practice also. So you see that, social media, the power of it. A YouTuber is earning more money than, a professional. The only thing is because he knows how to use social media. So social media can be used by a non graduate, or, non professional so effectively. So think that if a professional uses it for his, own practice, how far we can go with it. So social media, of course, it's a very good influence which we can use it, in our benefit, to enhance our practice. So after this, 5 trends, I'll come, more detail into artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, as I said, it is, the new electricity, I can say. So as you say, in a human evolution, there are 3 major stages that we have crossed. First was the electricity. Now we cannot anytime imagine a life without electricity. But of course, that happened. There was before electricity also. But things changed after the evolution of electricity. The second stage, big, I would say, was the internet. When internet came, people again thought that it is only for personal space. We can, just use it for some website to get some extra information. But yes, schooling or any knowledge comes from books. But now you know that, anything what we are getting is through Google, or, for chat GPT, is that how we enhance our knowledge. So that is the biggest second event, I would say, has happened. And the third is artificial intelligence. So now this is the major third event that has occurred into our human evolution, and things are going to change. Already you will see that there is drastic difference how the things are happening. It is more going to change. But of course, there is no threat. Like people are saying that artificial intelligence are going to take away the jobs of humans. That is not going to be happening. It's only that it is going to enhance our capacity and the capability of how we serve we'll be able to use our knowledge in a very extra uh, way, rather than just using our knowledge to just doing the mundane repetitive tasks that can be given to an assistant. So artificial intelligence is nothing but an assistant employee, which you can say, which is comes at a very cheaper cost, but you can ask him to do a work 24 hours a day. So that is how AI is. So AI is a technology that enables computers to perform decision based tasks previously that was left to humans. So it is it's not just a computer, but it is having some extra assistance that it can give. So it shows up that in multiple forms, including machine based learning, it can be progressively become better at analysis and decisions the more it is used, and speech based technology that can understand different languages. Now I'll give you one example that earlier, when I say internet, when it came, it was only for the learned people that they were able to use technology of the internet, because you have to type there, you have to know the language, you should know English to type it and then get the information. But is that the scenario now? It is not. Like, if you know a maid who is coming to your house, or a labor who is outside, if you go to a rekri wala or somewhere, he does not know English, but he is using the same internet, the same information that is available through the voice, the speaker icon that they have in their phone, in the smartphones. So that is an AI. It is a speech based technology that they are using, and they use it in their own language. So language has not been a barrier now, that they have to type something only in English to get the information. So this is how the same technology, but using an artificial intelligence, has come. It gives the same parity between a person who knows English and who does not know English, to get the information from the whole universe of data that is available. So that is how you can use the AI. At the same time, very old elders, what we have in our family, earlier it was like they cannot use phone, they said before, because again the same barrier, they were not able to see it properly, or they were not able to type those English words. But again, the speech based technology what has come up in the smartphones or iPads, they are using it very effectively, because they know that they have to just press that icon and speak whatever language in what they want to speak, and accordingly whatever video they want to access or whatever data they want to get, it will pop up. So even when I say that elders, at the same time, a person who is 2 3 years old, who has not gone to a even kindergarten, they can also use the same AI tool and get whatever Cartoon Networks they want to access. So this is something which has become very easy, and it is a edge at the same time for us when we are very busy. And the same technology we can use that whenever we are traveling, suppose we are driving, and your hands are occupied, you can use this technology to talk to your friends, or you can ask the software to give the to pull the accounts receivable for some particular client, and send it to the email whatever you want to send the report to. So this type of enhancement, because of the artificial intelligence, can be used in both the sectors, like even for your personal front as well as of in your practice. But then you should know how to use it. So chat GPT, I would say there are some examples of artificial intelligence. Alexa, like, person does not have to get up, you can just speak to Alexa and the curtains will get closed, the lights will get on or off, or TV will get on. So this is all where the artificial intelligence has come. You have to see how we can bring it into our accounting, and how we can use it more into our practice. Chat box is also a very effective, it's a cheapest assistant that enterprise can get to get a very nice customer satisfaction. Whenever they are you enter, suppose, to a Tanish or any website, immediately you'll get a chat box, which is not a real person, but then they assist you as if a real person is attending to your queries. So this is all chat box, and all those things, it gives a very nice customer satisfaction. And at the same time, auto categorization of accounts, when it comes to accounting software, there are very nice tools which are there available, where you can auto categorize the accounts, as I said, that repetitive accounts whatever there, or the rules that you can set up, recording of transactions through OCR, customer vendor payment management. All these tools you can use it to serve your client better. You can have every monthly, you can have that at a third or fourth date of the next month, you can send reports, you can just customize the reports, and you can have a rule set and the reminder that every this type of reports goes to the management. So this type of, you are giving a added, enhanced services to your clients, where you are not using your own time, but the software is taking care of that. So these are all the artificial intelligence that you can use into your practice and expand, and you can give a seamless services to your clients. So other than that, I'll say that what are the capabilities of AI? So making the workflow more efficient for the businesses, better handling of data. So when I say data can be handled very very nicely, that bank statements, credit card statements, whenever it comes, they can all structured, and you can post them, import the source documents directly. So initially it had to be in some template, but now it has been more enhanced, that now directly there are some tools, there are some accounting softwares that they're pulling from your mails itself, and they are categorizing that, okay, this is regarding to this type of sales, this is regarding to the expenses. So all that is happening at the source entry level itself. So that helps in the data handling, that you don't have to additionally keep a staff for that. So better customer experience, because you are able to give the reports on time, because you are saving the time in the data entry level. Data harvesting for predicting patterns. So suppose when you're doing end of the year, whenever you are doing some ITR filing, and you want to know some of the whatever as per the compliances, if you want to pull up some data, it becomes very easy using a automated software, that you can just ask what are the trends, what are the more than 3 months, 6 months receivables that are pending. So all that becomes very easy. Or you can even pattern, you can also check, like suppose are there any transactions where you want to check any fraud transactions, that are there any payments made before the receipts have been bills have been received. So that can be an area where you can check whether it is a genuine transaction where there is an advance paid, or there is some fraud, there's some adjustment entry that has been done, that first the payment was done, but to adjust something, there are later a bill was entered. So that type of things you can predict using this type of AI tools, turning pattern to actionable insights, and automation of various process based on patterns. So as I said, artificial intelligence will very nicely work on the patterns. If I give a very raw example, that if you are using an Amazon website for purchasing something, suppose you went and ordered for your office a printer. Next time you see that AI, how it works, that when you again log into your Amazon account, they will pop up with all the office rated stationaries to you or supplies, because the AI has taken the pattern that they know that this customer is looking for office related things. So they'll pop up with lot of other supplies. Maybe few of them you required, few of them you don't require, but you still go for that purchase. So that is how the businesses also are getting benefit, because they know that this type of easy, when they give push this type of options in front of the customers, they are likely to get more sales. So this is where of course it is very helpful, because you don't have to, because if you fall into that type of parameter, that yes, you are a business client and where you're looking for this type of supplies, everything is very easily available. They'll show you the combo package also. So that type of you can also do for a very in a very rate also, it will be very nice, because they'll offer you a combo type of supplies. At the same time, they will also see your trend, that every monthly this type of transaction you are doing it. So this is all the automated AI tools that they are using it. Same way in your business or your bookkeeping also, you can have that type of trends, that you can have every monthly this type of entries to be posted, because you can predict this type of monthly charges are going to come. You can set rules, so accordingly that type of entries will be passed. So bulk type of entries can be taken care of using AI. So tax, whenever you are doing tax audit also, audit watching, everything becomes very easy using the artificial intelligence tools. The AR, as I said, you can even talk to the softwares, or you can even just set rules that this type of customize. Sometimes the client does not want a normal accounts receivable. They want a specific customized one, which the tools are giving you the option where you can customize the reports and save the template, so that again and again you don't have to do. If you're doing it Excel, you have to do that again and again, that process of importing those data and then pushing it on the Excel. But here there is a template there inside the software itself. So you don't have to do the duplication work of exporting and importing another platform. And at the same time, you can set the same customize what the client wants, and you can push it every, you can have a set date when the report goes. At the same time, you can have a set number of email IDs given, so that that type of thing is being taken care of. So it becomes an, a dedicated staff sort of person who is doing all that process behind you. So that is how you can enhance your, using the capabilities of AI. And as I said, one example of it is ChatGPT. So ChatGPT, of course, you would have heard about this devil, for past maybe a year or so. In that also, there are a lot of enhancements coming. Now, ChatGPT was only initially a text-based generative pre-trained transformer. Now, in that, ChatGPT 4 has come, which is along with that, image is also there. So ChatGPT is nothing but it's a generative AI. When I say generative, there is generative category and there is another one which is predictive. So predictive is something where you are forecasting that, what would be, suppose if I want to prepare a budget for one of my client. So seeing the trend, what are the expenses I can budget, that where there can be increase or where can be a decrease. And if that I use it as a chat GPT to make a budget. So that will be a predictive artificial intelligence tool that I'll be using. But presently, what ChatGPT is there, what we are using it, to give us some reports or some information, that is generative ChatGPT, where already that information is there. From that, it is pulling up and giving whatever information you want to know. So ChatGPT is Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer. It is an artificial intelligence chat box developed by OpenAI. It answers almost everything we can think of, because all of the data, whatever is there available on the net, that all is there from which you can, get the information, whatever you want to know. ChatGPT takes your request and answers them quickly. It is same as if you are asking to a person. So I would just say the difference that is Google was somewhere where you had to type your question and the information would come, like there would be 20 or 25 suggestions. From that, you have to see what is pertaining to you. But now, if you are going for a chat GPT, it's a dedicated one-to-one, like you're asking to a teacher or you are asking to a coach, where you're asking one definite question for which you get a one specific answer. You can reduce it. You can say that answer should be in 200 words, or you can make it a very summarized one saying that I want 10 points on this topic. So it is that way, like you can, it is a very one-to-one question answer that you can get, and send a very fraction of a minute that you get that answer. The tool answers using the text databases from the internet. So to be precise, there are 300 billion words that are fed into the system, and that is a whole book that is there from which you get the, whatever answer you want to get for the topic that you are looking for. So this is a very helpful tool. Of course, many of the students now in the schools are using ChatGPT for getting essay, which was something they used to use 1 or 2 days to form a essay, which now they can finish it maybe in a half an hour. Same way, I will say that one of my client is using ChatGPT. He is having a presentation.ai as his business model, where there are all the templates given for the different sectors that we need to make presentations. So as you know that being a chartered accountant, also when we have to prepare a presentation, the content part, what is there, which is very hardcore functional, which we are very sure of it, we'll finish it off in suppose 1 hour or a couple of hours. But the rest of the time, we'll say that oh, the PPT is taking 1 or 2 days. What was taking more time was how to present the data, the templates to be used, because we are not professional into that sector. But now using this type of artificial intelligence tools available, where there's templates already there. So you have to just, give your data, whatever you want to present, and the rest of the things are being taken care of by the artificial intelligence. You get the best of the templates to showcase your, presentation, and it is as good as any other software engineer would be presenting the data. So you don't waste time, which is not your, key area, I would say, because presentation skills, of course, for the data is what is your, hardcore subject, but not, how to show the templates or how, the transformation will go from one slide to another. That is all will taken care by the presentation AI. So this is how the tools we can use in our practice and reduce the time. What initially we said that, okay, I have a meeting with my client, we used to wait for a week. We used to take our time to go through the documentation, and then we used to wait for a week for the client to reply. But now what we do is that the data would
Recording in
not be that good,
progress.
but they will have all this, patterns, whatever, past things happening in the various sectors. All those datas, they were able to get it very easily because that was their, that was how they were taught in their MBAs. But the CS somewhere used to fall behind. But now getting this artificial intelligence tools, we are at par and maybe, more advanced than them, because our whatever the data is there, that was more important, which now will shine because of the other tools which we are also capable of, because that we can add because of the artificial intelligence tools that are available. So when I say AI and the chat GPT in our practice, of course, I said that automated bookkeeping is something that we should look forward to the softwares and do that, so that whatever time is spent, sometimes people say that, okay, week is going on for accounting to be done for a one particular client. And sometimes you don't have that much of bandwidth of your staff. Using the automated bookkeeping, you can reduce the, the number of staff you for the bookkeeping, and use the other, maybe some CAs, to do the other value chain, other services which are little more enhanced, rather than using those professionals to do just the bookkeeping task. So accounting in the near scenario, I am looking that it would be an invisible accounting. Like I said, in the income tax department also we are using the AI tools and automation. Similarly, if you see the GST portal, what is there, a government website that is also made very nice, and using these tools, so that, like, if you say that GST1, if he is there, if you have done that return file, all the sales are there. So if you do GST1, GST 2B, if you have done the 2A, so the 3B is an automated one. So that is something where the uh, government portal has used that automation and AI, where you can get that match, and the remaining whatever is payable, that is only that payment that you have to look forward. So other things have been taken care of. So all these things are happening because once one cloud is there, one platform is there where all the business are being transacting. So in near future, we can have, that are sales of one client. Suppose X sales is a purchase of a client Y. So directly you can pull that entry into your purchase account. So that is something which is going to be happening in future, because all is coming under one roof. So that type of invisible account is definitely going to happen, where accounting, what normally people say that 70-80% is bookkeeping, and then comes the remaining 30% of the taxing or taxation or compliances. I would say it will going to be reversed. Maybe 10-20% time is going to go into the accounting part, and the remaining would go into advisory or the compliances whatever we are doing, and the other services that can be added to the practice. So the AI and the tools definitely are going to make the accounting invisible. The third thing is delivering actionable insights at a rapid pace, because whenever you are using a computer, a machine based thing, definitely the pace is going to be faster. And of course, there, many times the roadblock also initially, because I'm from Bangalore, I know that if you're using a desktop software, if a person has to travel to a specific place and then do the auditing of that client, the time was not just the audit what a person used to do or the staff, but also the traveling time, all that thing used to add it. So the delivery actions used to get, accordingly, you have to calculate the time. But now when the thing is available cloud, even the income tax department, like if you are saying that, earlier we cannot think a refund or a email coming from an income tax department on Sundays, but now that is happening. So why it is happening? Because of the AI tool. So similarly, we can say that even the last date of GST rate or something, if it's on Sunday, we can still work on it because we are using AI tool. So delivery of actionable things are definitely at a rapid pace because it is on cloud. So cloud gives a thing that we don't have to specifically add lot of other hours that is to spend into traveling or into doing some very long process to make it very squeezed and do it into a fast pace where actually the work is to be done. So the process automation definitely helps when you tie up two three things together. So income tax, as I said, the government has used it, and you see for a salary return, it is so easy that even a individual can file their own return because again their form 16 can be uploaded directly. So initially that was all one task which was separate, and one task we used to add, we used to put each and every form 16 used to open. From there we used to put the net salary into the return, and then according used to make prepare the return. So there was 50% was the chances of becoming having a human error, which definitely goes away when you tie two things to talk themselves back of the platform. So this is where we do the process automation. So first of all, the accuracy is there. Secondly, because it is automated, backend something is being done where no additional human interference is needed. That automation gives the speed to the whole process and becomes very easy also. So process automation, definitely when you do in accounting also, the same benefits what you can see in an income tax portal, that things are very automated. You can upload the form 16, you can have form 16A directly in the software. And to tell you, I have done for Canada clients also. So first in the India we had this technology. Of course, US had that, then India had, and later the one of the client, they had hired me to do the same type of thing backend to be done for the Canada government, so that directly what we have as Form 16, where they have their returns from coming for the payroll, the same can be included backend, so that the process can be automated. So when we say about technology, definitely India is not behind. And when we as an accountants also, if we take that as soon as possible, we just have to predict what are the patterns where we can give that thing to be to a machine, so that that can be done faster. Like whenever we finish any of our this income tax return or tax audit, the next 1 week we'll see that our staff is working on preparing the invoices for the clients. Now that same thing, if I say you have to just prepare one template where you have just two columns, wherever you have paid challan, suppose tax for the client, that is a reimbursement column, and the second is whatever fees that you have to be charged for the clients. That full Excel sheet can be imported in your software. From that directly the service, the invoices can be sent to all the clients within the same, with all the email IDs already there in your system. You can finish that whole task into one day, and it can be also done by only one person. So you think that so much of process automation can help you in your practice, when I'm saying when it is the thing where you have to even raise your invoices. So that all can be done when you think what are the things which are which you can squeeze, and you can just make it into a pattern or just template which can be pushed to a software. Same way compliance automation, as I said already, the GST portal is a very good example of the compliance automation. Same way, when you are looking forward for some of the key information after a tax audit, that what are the points that you're looking forward when you're doing a scrutiny of any ledger or any client's ledgers. So the same thing, you can use the automation tool to predict what are the non-routine things, and the software will push up these are something non-routine patterns which you are looking forward, and that can become your pointers for the clients which you are going to use in your report. So that is how AI has come a long way, but you have to back, you have to take out the time to think that which are the areas and which are the softwares which can help for this. Like the next example is say the better communication, even for a email drafting. Initially, that was something which you will not give to anybody in your staff. You will be little cautious, who is drafting your email. But now, if you see like back 1 or 2 months, if you're seeing that if you are drafting any mail, there's automatically there is some gray words which are popped up in your email, which are the suggestions given by directly by the software. It can be Gmail or whatever email tool you're using. So that gives us that what are the routine patterns, that when you come to thanks, it will say and regards, and lot of other things, that whenever you are getting an email where it is the subject itself says that you have to just confirm that yes, I'll attend the meeting, or yes, I've received your invitation. That all pops up. There are 3 or 4 suggestions, not just one. There will be 2, 3 suggestions given to you, from which you have to just click that one of the option, and that accordingly the email will be sent. So this is a very nice way of better communication that has already come through AI. So this also reduces your time, because you don't have to literally give a human person and time to that thing. Of course, there are a lot of suggestions that comes whenever you are writing any text or writing any report. So these are all tools which are coming up through the Microsoft or lot of other big companies. At the same time, how you use it, unless until you are using the cloud, this all benefits which are coming through the cloud softwares, you are not able going to be useful to in your practice. So that's why I'll say that you have to adopt that technology, so that any enhancement happening back end there, you will be able to use it in your practice. So I'll just give a couple of examples that how ChatGPT you can use in your practice. So like if I just write in my ChatGPT that give me some as you can guess, prepare a checklist for ITR 3. So suppose you are very busy, you have some person that whom you want to give a checklist. So initially I had to think, for 5 minutes, or I had to give a old file and ask my staff that, these are the information that you have to use it as a checklist. But now I can just ask him to do chat GPT, just put this, prepare a checklist for ITR 3. This can give most of the 90 to 95% of the things that we look forward. And that this is the thing that he can go for it. He can look for all the information and then come to you. And then later on 5 to 10%, what is the extra information that is missed out, or you think that you have to add on, that is something what a CA would be, investing its time into it. So like that, I have a couple of other examples where you can use this thing. Just a minute. I think it got hanged. So the another thing, like prepare an internal audit report for real estate industry. So many times maybe it is the case that you don't have always real estate sector clients which have come to you. Maybe it is the first time or something. So if you want to know more, so initially we were hesitant that maybe we don't know about it much, or you'll ask a peer, you'll call them who have done that type of before client, they've served that type of client. But now this type of chat GPT is something where it can work as your partner who has worked in that type of industry, and you can get again an overview of what of the internal audit report of a real estate, how it looks like, how you have to format that. So all this is available in our business also. So when I say this type of examples, there are many. You can try out, what are the other, these are just a couple of things which I had posted today to my chat GPT and got that snapshots. But there are n number of things that you want to know about it and you'll get it. Like I'll say that now, whenever you are buying a printer or you want to install something on your phone or something, initially we were going for a manual, that instructions that you used to read and then accordingly do one by one step. But now we are just, as a human tendency, we are going for a YouTube video, how to install that. Even the sellers of those maybe HP or some other, they are also making a YouTube video, because it becomes very easier for a person to understand and install. So that are all the things that and that saves their person, otherwise they had a dedicated person to be sent to your house to install that particular asset. Maybe it can be a printer or a TV, but now it has become very easy because they are putting their YouTube videos, and at the same time we can also use it very easily to understand it and accordingly install. So this type of things, benefits are there, and YouTube is definitely is a platform where we are enhancing our skills from lot of other things. It can be regarding to, something of related to our business or something which are on a personal front. So benefits of AI is that you can save time by avoiding the repetitive tasks and elimination of the data entry, because data entry is something everybody knows that, we don't now need to go for a debit and credit entry. It is definitely being taken care of by having a bulk import. Same way, more accurate in less time, better efficiency. It improves the productivity, because when you know that, the errors are not there because there is no human interference, your productivity would be definitely better. And increase clientele, because your time will be saved from doing all the repetitive tasks. You can squeeze the number of staff that you're using for this type of task, and you can have some extra bandwidth to go and serve for the increased clientele and expansion to a new service area of data analysis or maybe advisory like a virtual CFO. So this type of added things can be possible if you are, going up in the value chain up. So when you move up in the value chain, only then there is a scale possibility where you can embrace the new technology tools. So of course, you continue to do your bookkeeping services, you continue to do your accounting and auditor services, but using the AI tools, whatever your, presently, whatever your 100% time is going to that, you can squeeze it to 40 to 50% of your bandwidth, of your human time. And as I can say in your CA profession, what you are doing is nothing but you are selling your time. So whatever time is saved, that can be utilized for, the added services that you want to go. Maybe it is a global advisory services or virtual CFO services, where you can expand. Maybe if you're doing just bookkeeping, you can go for payroll services, which initially was only coming under the HR or human resources domain. But now even a CA can go for that, because there are a lot of tools. Because you know what you are doing, I would just give you an example that we are doing bookkeeping means we are accounting for the salary every month that has been done, but we are not doing the HR part of it, because we think that, but there are softwares which are cloud. So again, cloud software which has, multiple logins. So you take part of, just of the form 16 where you have to issue. Definitely we are doing that, but we are doing it with a separate software or with a separate Excel sheet. So that all can be taken under one roof, where the HR is doing for their attendance and everything. Simultaneously, you are doing it for your entering the salary, for issuing the form 16, for giving the computation, whatever tax would be coming. So all these 2-3 things we were doing it, but we are not taking it under the umbrella of payroll accounting, because we were not knowing it that it is a different services that we are giving, because we were giving it in a very staggered way. So we were saying that, okay, we'll issue form 60, but that is, we are not taking the whole responsibility of payroll, because the software was not that good. Some CAs would not go into, a very exhaustive, very expensive softwares that were available before, because they were very expensive as a true payroll. So HR team used to, have that softwares, but now there are very competitive softwares that are coming because of the cloud technology, and that works parallel with the accounting software also. So when we know that, we require that information, 50 to 60% of the information is related to accounts and the tax compliances that we are doing. Form 16A we are issuing, forms 16 we are issuing. So all that is coming under that thing. And at the same time, salary, every month salary we have to make the entry. So all that comes under the umbrella of payroll, but only when you use the software, that is an added services which you can, embrace. You can say that, okay, we'll take a payroll services for a client. So that becomes an extra service area for us, because if you're using the technology, the same things what we are doing before, we can nomenclate it as saying that it is an added services because of the software which works, at a different platforms. The client can use it for the attendance or for the new hiree. From there only there are some of the appointment letters or something issued. At the same time, bilaterally you can use it monthly whenever you need it for your salary to be posted, or the form 16 annually to be done. So all those things you can, use it, because the value chain you can go up because of the technology tools that are available. You have to know about it. You can suggest to the clients, and then accordingly you can add, one of the services that you can offer to your client. So this is how I would say that technologies are enough, they're available in the market, but you have to embrace it. So building a future tech enabled practice, I would say you have to adopt the tools for all the functions in office, including accounting, audit, and compliance functions. So you should have a right portal, you should have a client access, so that they can also, if the information they want to know about what are the outstanding of suppose vendors or something, they should not be dependent that they will call you and then you have to give the report to them. So that should be something that they can also access. So that reduces your time. You don't have to dedicatedly give one phone number, so that whenever they can call to that employee, and maybe the employee is busy with some other work. So there is a lot of time that goes to and fro. So in that case, if the client is having the access, your work is done, so then they can directly pull the data. Same way, if that some entries are done by them, you can have a directly access, so that you can generate all the reports at your end. So there should be a flexibility. So there should not be something that data has to be exchanged from one place to another, because that also adds to the IT cost that has to be done behind all the backups or whatever you have to do. So that all has been taken care of if there is a cloud software. So you need not, the flexibility is given so that you can access it anytime. Sometimes you are traveling, and because of the traveling you are not there with your staff. Earlier it was their scenario that you cannot reply to the client whatever information he needs. So we had to buy time. Again, we had to keep that as a checklist. But now, because it is flexible, you can even check in your phone. So many of the softwares you can access on your phone, and for that you don't have to even ask your staff, because you have a login for that. You can just log in and you can just get that information and send through an email, or you can share the snapshot. So these are all the things which are available if you are using the right portal and you have multiple access and the flexibility of the data on being on cloud. So you should adopt that things. You should have a building a proper staff, where you have a trained accountant and bookkeeper, where I would say it should not be that he has to be a commerce guy, but he should know how to use the right tool and do the bookkeeping for you. A tax specialist, a team leader, and manager, so that they can guide, and then they can have the proper checklist when which client has to be taken on priority. Invest in technology training. So definitely, many of the places you have a article which knows about what are the tax report to be compiled and everything. But you will see that a lot of time a CA has to invest later on, because they don't know the technology, they don't know how to use Word very nicely, or the Excel tool very nicely. So you have to invest to train your staff for all the technology, because if you do that, they'll be able to prepare a lot of other reports where normally your time will get involved. So that all you can shift to them, because they know, they will know the accounting or the data, because they have only done the entry for that particular client. But when it comes to presentation, or when they want to summarize the information into a spreadsheet, or using the the report structure whatever is there, they struggle into there how it will have a print preview. And then later on, when you are signing that report, some of the qualified CAs are getting used into all that type of word and documenting and all those time, which actually should a lower profile person should have done that for you. So you have to invest in the technology training for your staff, and so that the whole team works in a very efficient way. So identifying the right client primarily, clear about the type of client which you want to serve. So you should be very thorough. Sometimes a client comes to me and they say that, why don't you do charitable trust for me? But then, of course, seeing the profile, what I have, served my clients, I would rightly say that, I have my peer or another person. So earlier, people were shying away from saying no. And that's why they used to take a lot of work, which they were not even, very 100% sure of into how they will serve the client. And at the same time, they were hesitant to give the work to your fellow friend. But now the scenario has changed. Now you believe in the specialization that you do, and the networking is very good. So when I am sharing some of the work to my fellow friend, because I know that I'm not very good in that, I accept it. And the client is also very okay with it, because they know that I am doing that because they would be I'm suggesting someone who can give them 100% better whatever their requirement is. At the same time, the fellow CAs also, when they get something where it is regarding to their overseas client or the startups, where they know that they are not very much confident, they are very nicely passing off that to me. So then that's the thing I'm saying, you should be very clear what type of client you want to serve, rather than going where you're not very confident, where you're not satisfying yourself. At the same time, you are not doing justification to the client. So better that time you take a step back, you say no, and only serve to the clients, what you are very clear that you are having that 100% surety that you will be able to cater them very nicely. Same way, determining the pricing model, you should know, what is the correct pricing model. Don't sometimes if you say that, a salary employee is coming to me, and I have to, 500 is not something that I should charge, because of course your time is involved in that. Better let it go to a person who can, because it is not a very, I will say, expertise thing that you require for that type of simple return. So better tell them that, guide it through a very person who can, practitioner, who does not have a CA background, but then can take care of that, and you can accordingly have a price model where you are giving investment, guidance to some employee. Only take that type of client and have a proper pricing model for whatever time you are involving your expertise into it. So creating awareness among clients about the virtual CFO services, you can tell them, whatever technology things, or what are the market different. Like I said, payroll is something which they would not be aware that, that type of software is available, and that is how you can serve them into an added thing. Because sometimes when a client is going from a small setup to a enhancing, they would not go for a HR team or something. So they lay back to you. So that time, if you include a software which can not increase your time bandwidth, at the same time it can add to your different service line, and you can suggest them that, okay, I will add one payroll services, and this is how you can grow easily, and you can have one HR team with just this much particular requirements, where they can issue the appointment letter, or they can have all the other whatever policies they have to explain to the employee, and can be a front end. So that type of things is a virtual CFO services. You should create that awareness among the clients that what are the things you can give them and which can help in their business. So this is how you should structure your firm, and you should prepare your firm for the technology wave. As I said that, many of my colleagues who were having a desktop, they were using their office only to work, and had the staff coming to the office using that laptop, did not have data of the client on the cloud, had a major issue when the COVID happened. Of course, later on the business also stopped, but initially that phase when the work was done, but accounting entries were pending, that time the people who were on cloud, that CA firms did not had any problem, because they were able, not initially, but taking some more time, they were able to serve to the clients. So if you're using the cloud applications for all the functions, it will enable us to work anywhere and serve any part of the world. So this is something that you can start. Maybe if you are there in the city, you can do some work of the other state client. At the same time, you can then later on move to global also, out of India also, then you can have clients. But this all step by step you can go, because once you start using that cloud application, then you'll know that meetings nowadays. Earlier, if I used to get some updates from my staff, I used to have a stand up where everybody will come, 5 minutes dedicated to my cabin, and then he has, or the person has to update whatever client he has worked on it previous day. But now that is not the case, because if I'm traveling, I would not have that in person meeting. But then of course it reduces the time, because you think everybody has to stop that work. Maybe that time if I get a call, that 5 minutes extends to an half an hour, sometimes 1 hour. But now if it is a Zoom meeting, or if it's there is something online, you have that dedicated 5 minutes or 10 minutes when you're having discussion. That is only the time that a CA or the staff is using for that particular discussion. So that reduces a lot of work, which time which earlier used to go into just meeting in face to face. And the leverage is what like the tools now which we have an online seminar. Initially there were many people who were missing on the good topic seminars, because it was not available in their city. Maybe I'm talking about uh, tier 2 or tier 3 cities, where you did not had all the topics of big seminars happening. But now coming to this type of technology, where so many seminars are happening cloud, they all are open, because now they, even if they have any deadlines, but still same day, if there's a seminar of suppose 1 hour or 2 hours, they can still attend that. So this all tools, a Zoom meeting, if I say cloud software, that all has helped us to enhance our skills, to reduce the time. What earlier is to go into, very, which was not something which was helpful in the discussion or something. So that all time has to be squeezed only into the dedicated work related time that we are utilizing the productive work. So invest in tools for various functions which will do many unproductive and repetitive tasks. And unproductive, I also include traveling and meeting someone face to face. Because even for a client meeting earlier, it was a specific thing that you have to meet to the client person, you have to step to their office, you have to see availability of his and yours, and then accordingly the same meeting sometimes to go 1 week or 2 weeks later. Now we don't have to wait for that. Immediately the same day it will happen. So now of course you are not working that 9 to 6, maybe you are stretching a little more, but then you don't have to wait for that unproductive thing just to have the two timings, to synchronize on that face to face meeting. So use that all unproductive things you can just, leave on and start data analysis using AI tools, which will help us provide advisory services to clients. So when I say that, lot of unroutine things can be popped up. So many times, people are doing this fraudulent audit and, insolvency audit and all those things. I have seen AI tools are helping them very much, where they can, whatever they used to take 3 hours or maybe 2 days into getting, what are the non-routine things, whatever non-routine transaction that has happened, it will, the AI tools are helping them to get the same data analysis within the 1 hour or, half an hour of the ledger scrutiny. So this is how I am saying that AI tools are helpful, which can help us to give enhance. Then that advisory services, you can just use that more time to know how to present that to the client, and you can just utilize your knowledge to show that, what are, from that you can just scrutinize that, what are the legitimate non-routine things and what are the things which can be of a fraudulent manner. So what are the other leveraging technology tools which are there in the market? Like for accounting, I said that there is a QuickBooks. QuickBooks came for India, but now it is not for the Indian market, but then it is available for your global market. So that is also a software which you can have customized reports, and you have different type of automated settings that you can do backend. And Zoho is there for Indian market, where there are so many automated tools that you can use it for full bulk importing of the bank statements, even for OCR codes. So a lot of entries are seamlessly done automatically. Then there is Zero, again, it is for a global market. Then document management, as I said earlier, people were very restrictive to their desktop and their server, but now Dropbox is there. People are using Drive, OneDrive, Google Drive to keep lot of data. So now exchange of sending it through one email to another, rather than it is in the drive where you can just search it and you can get it. So the pool is there. You can directly, any member or any staff can use it round the year. So this type of things are there. Many softwares are, having their wherever PAN or some this type of key information, what you require for the client repetitively. You don't have to again go back to the directors, to get those things. So all that has been because of the document management tools that you can use. Like initially, we had to manually sign the reports. Now that has become digital. So that also, so many things are there digitally because we are using this type of tools. So communication, as I said earlier, like we did not had meetings other than face to face, one-to-one meeting. So maybe the discussion was 15 to 20 minutes, but it used to stretch for 1 hour. So now that has to be squeezed, that whatever time is spent for the discussion or the meeting, that is all productive time. So it is no time that, it is going to two and way for going from one place to another. So it is a teams that meetings we are using it. Many children have used it in the COVID time for, getting their studies, which was not stopped because of the COVID time, because the technology tool, the school adopted to it. So of course, this type of tools, even as a CA practice, if we are using it for a meeting, though if you're in the same place, same location, but even then, if you're using this type of uh, Zoom meeting or something, it reduces definitely into the unproductive time. So dedicatedly, you can use the full time for whatever discussion or presentation you want to have with your team. So these are the communication tools which are available in the market. Then there are fully automated payroll softwares also, which like Razorpay is a Indian software for the Indian clients that they have made. Deal and Gusto is for the US team, US market. So I would say that this is what the whole scenario now looks. Like if we are adopting to the AI and the automated tools and the cloud accounting, what I'm saying, the stage where we are right now, there's no paper. So we don't have to, literally open a file to see something, and you can work anywhere. There's no IT guy, you require for your server to do a backup or things where you get stuck up with something. And there's a wide geography that you can serve. And there's no data backups that you have to do periodically. Earlier there was a staff that has to be kept every weekly. All the data, whatever you have done for your client, everything has to be backed up. So we have gone through all that challenges, but now this is the future that you, and the other stage, what I'll say, that you can have your new virtual office, which is a reality. Now you can use not just your laptop, but a tablet or your phone. You can work it even when you are in a CCD restaurant, or when you're traveling on like plane. You can still access to the data. You can still access to the emails from your clients, and of course from your office you can access, or whenever you are even relaxing. Maybe you went for a jog in the morning, and that time also if some client is asking for you something, or you want to send some updates to your staff, that this is the thing which I'm looking for today's task, that all you can do it through your tools that you're using it, technology. And that way you can use the whole cloud atmosphere in your practice. So the future looks very bright for CA practice as the businesses have progressed, evolved. We as a chartered accountant also, unless until you find out the areas where the repetitions are there, the patterns are there. The same thing the software companies. I have a past record where I've worked with lot of software companies. They know how to do it, but then of course they are not professionals. They are not functional into the CA domain where they know that which areas we can pitch in. So that is the where we have to tell these are the things. But then unless until we use the softwares and we say that okay, this software is doing the accounting but it is not doing the compliance part, and then we give that feedback, the company will come up with what are the GST returns forms or reports that they can accordingly incorporate in their software. So I've worked for a lot of like Zoho and other teams where they've incorporated that, so that the CA practice becomes very easy, where we can use just one software. And the same Zoho is also used by many of the clients for sending their quotations or something as a client perspective. The same roof is available for a chartered accountant as well as the business clients when they have to send some their inventory things. So all this thing is coming under one roof, and that is how we'll say that if we adopt that, so the technology and the AI tools and you, with that the whole future of the CA is very good, because we as a professional have lot of caliber. So we should not use that just for doing the routine accounting, bookkeeping or compliances, but you should use it because for the global lot of other things on other services which we can add to our thing and add to our feather. So I would say that two things we should add. We should become a techno CA firm, so that is one wing we should add. And the other thing I will say that you have to adopt to the technology, uh, not the global market which is there. With two these wings, you can fly the endless sky. So this I would say that with this I would like to end and be open for the any questions that you have. If you have any other doubts and if you want to know detail, just let me know. Yeah.
Uh, Thank you, Kashmira man, for such a wonderful session. In case anyone has any questions, request to please type in and we'll help you take up those. So maybe we'll just read for a moment.
If you want to know about any of the topic like artificial intelligence, I know that some CAs are not that much aware of the chat GPT, if they have not used. So I would say that you start using it, you can try out for few of the things which you want to know, which you think that okay, I don't have information on that particular uh, sector or something. You can just try out with that and you'll come to know that there are a lot of information that is available. And of course the tools also, which I'm saying that they're available in the accounting softwares also, which you can use it.
Kashmira ji, I have a question.
Yeah, tell me.
As of now, the variety of AI tools that are available for especially just from our profession purpose point of view, can you mention some of the specific tools that will be useful in various areas of practice? Like chat gpt is, I know, one of them, but there are too many AI tools that are available. I did a random Google search, and at least 20 to 30 tools are available for one specific task, like creating a PPT, maybe. So, from
Yeah.
your experience, if you can share some specific tools that are good at particular tasks.
See, as I said, one of my clients, like in Bangalore, he has made his business of just presentations. So that is also an AI. So when I say Chat GPT, of course, it is from OpenAI. There is another called Bar. So that is from Google. So that are
Google,
different
right?
different companies have different AIs. And as I said, it is the initial stage of evolution. We are going to see a lot of enhancement. Like you see, like initially, if my parents would go for shopping, they can never think of going for shopping without cash with them. So a wallet
Right.
has to be there for purchasing something. But in today's scenario, later on we went with the credit card as something where you don't take a bulk of notes, and you just take a credit card
Right.
where you can go shopping up to a lakh or 2 lakhs, whatever credit limit you have. But now see a scenario like now when I go for shopping or somewhere, I don't have to even carry a wallet or a credit card, because you're
Credit
just
card.
making the payment from phone. And see the adoption from the perspective of a small seller. If I go to a every weekly market, which are people don't have even a shop, but they will be having a Google Pay or Phone Pay
Yes.
barcode.
Yes.
They don't understand anything, but they know that using that will enhance my business, because people who don't have cash, or sometimes they don't have that exact denomination, I maybe not be able to exchange that money, because sometimes used to give 100 rupees, they say 50 rupees we don't have, sometimes we will not buy things. That was happening
Yeah.
initially, but now because that exact amount is going, see from the perspective, if I buy something for 95 rupees, earlier 5 rupees always used to be extra that a shopkeeper is going to keep, or he's
Yeah.
going to give me chocolate. But now you know
Chocolate. Yes.
exactly you are going to give 95 rupees. So this is all,
Yeah.
a very win-win situation that
Convenience.
is coming. And they are all open to it. I am seeing a very small shopkeeper, not having a shop even. I'm saying just who is having his goods, a vegetable owner who is having a weekly market setup down. He would be having a this phone pay or something, because he can make a sales of something which he was expecting, suppose into a thousands, maybe 2,000, 3,000, it can go to even 5,000. They are okay,
Yes.
maybe there would be some charges, some this providers would be taking some commission. But if you see the whole thing, they are not worried about the cash being getting stolen now. Because I just
Yes.
talk to many of the other people that why you adopted to this technology. Because many time I've heard with my CA, when I go for seminars, the CA is saying my client is not ready to put the data on cloud. I said,
Yes.
what are you, why you are not explaining to your client that your data is not in the laptop, or the software that you're using. Your data is everywhere. Once you're using the GST portal, your data is available there. Now if I want to know any director's number or something, I'm
Yes.
directly from MCA website or anywhere, you just Google and get it. So your business, any of your client business is available on the cloud. So there now you have to just, make them more knowledgeable. That just restricting that no, my accounting data should not go cloud. It is there on the cloud. And once you accept that, then you are ready to use to it full extent. Because many people say, no, the software cost is more. But imagine the software cost has become so cheap compared, if you see, if you're keeping a two people to do the same task, which using this tool you can do it with a person, one person maybe of not paying to 40,000, 50,000. He is a non-commerce guy, maybe 20,000, but he knows Excel and everything. You can use one staff to do the same entry. So don't you think that that way you're saving the cost? So you have to first of all adopt with a very open heart, with the whole knowledge that these things comes with a productivity. And once we say
Right.
productivity, as I said, we as a chartered accounting are just selling our time. If I'm going global, so the same value what I would do a 10 returns, I will be doing 10 returns. But maybe 5 returns I do for my Indian clients, 5 I do for my global clients. But what my revenue is there would be 10 times of the return. So
Right.
if I'm doing one return for an Indian client, suppose 5,000, and another which I'm doing for my US client, maybe it's for $400. So definitely, but for that, maybe I have to hire a person who is little expensive. But then, of course, if I see a win-win situation, I am going to get that. But use that staff, use your knowledgeable staff for using the right type of work. Don't use them for very data entry type of time, which they also are monotonous work. They don't want to do that double entry work and all those things. So remove them from that and use your time also very productively, and use your staff also, because don't think, oh, he's a staff, he should do that long way because I have done it. No, make them also feel the benefit of the technology, so that if they are free, definitely they are going to upskill their things. Let them
Right.
attend any seminars. If they are free, they are going to Google, let them Google for the
Yeah.
respective task which you do in your office. So that way I'll say that definitely the people around us, when they are not professionals, they are not CA, they are using the technology. Same way we should also embrace, and we should not think why they would have thought that, why should I spend money on that Google Pay, printing and all those things. Of course, that is an added cost, but they do it because business is increasing. Same way, if a CA practice also thinks that, we have to invest in some software, go for it. Because if you see in a long run, definitely it brings a lot of, and even social media. People are saying we are using it for WhatsApp. Why do you in LinkedIn? No, you are not going to get any clients from that. Definitely you're going to get it. There will be some noises. I would not say that it is full of
Yeah.
productive thing, but from that noises, you as a professional know, you get the sense which client is a prospective real client, and which is a person which are just a false thing. So you can make out that fake thing and the real thing, and accordingly you can get the overseas clients also. So you have to read about it more. This technology, of course, I said the online seminars, the YouTube available, and the tool, as I said, chat GPT, and all those things are there to help us to enhance our skills. So definitely it is good in the this era. I'm
Long
very
run.
happy to be in this phase that we are seeing. Otherwise, imagine initially if you speak to any CA 15 years before, they used to go with a green pen. Individually, one voucher they used to take. Don't you think now, if I sit back and think, that is all the time which was getting wasted? But then that was the only option that we knew. And this, if I talk to my staff, they don't even know how to do a green pen tick. They don't carry that. But that all we have gone through. So if we, and in my seminars, wherever I've gone, I've seen people of 60 years member also, who have come and they have said, ma'am, I've gone through chat GPT. And that I feel really very good. Because if those people are, and accepting it,
Open to
then
learning.
yeah, so then why not, this sector, what I'm choosing, the women and young members, these people are definitely are those people where you are new. So when a young member comes, ma'am, already people have taken all the things. I had a seminar when I went to Ahmedabad, maybe or Delhi. The person said there were 4 CAs who had just given the exam and results were awaited. They said, ma'am, if already artificial intelligence will come and work will get so fast, we will get difficulty in getting jobs. I said, don't think that it is going to differ. You will get some good work, which we
Yeah.
were wasting, in not using our right capability. So now you will be using it in the correct knowledge that what you have used. Otherwise, previously what we did in the work, 50%, 60% was not work. If I say in Bangalore like city, if I send a person to go and do accounting or maybe audit to a client's place, 4 hours are gone in going and coming. And rather
Traveling.
than ask that person to work on the cloud software sitting in their place, if he works even for 6 hours, that is also more than what I send to a client's place and do it. But if I think that no, that person should come in front of me, sit in my office and do work, it is not going to help. And at the same time, networking, I would say, use the network, share the work if you don't know it to your fullest. Similarly, the work gets exchanged. So better stick to your specialization. The same thing doctors have done. Doctors are also using AI. Why they will say no, I would say CAs are professionals, but it is not that difficult sector to use AI. Or the data is, people are having afraid that, oh, why should we use with the data, because client data is very confidential and all those things. A life, a body, human body is more difficult. But you see that when I talk to my relative who is a doctor, he says that there were some two specialists used for some of the tests to be done. Many times there were errors, so that's why there were two professionals kept. But keeping an AI machine, whatever they have to do the diagnosis of kidney or something, radiologist, 90% or 95% work is done. What a specialist is to do for a week, that is done in one day reports. So the work is done very fast, and the other professional knows that the human error is not there. So now
Right.
then the actual knowledge of a doctor was used to give, what can be the reason for this type of disease, or the kidney or whatever thing has happened. So the radiologist also cost has been reduced. Otherwise you have to wait for to hire a radiologist which is to come to your hospital. So all those, of course, the cost has come very cheap because of the technology. So even that, if you say that it is expensive because you don't want to go for that tools, it is not something which is not safe, because it is a client data. You have to be aware, first of all, you have to acknowledge that the data is there on cloud. So once you accept that, you know that now there is nothing called like hidden things. People are ready to go with all the whatever they have, they want to put up, they want to grow. So when the profit margin is there with the correct way, then they don't want to hide, that, oh, we don't want to show the actual sales. They want to show because they know it is there everywhere.
Yeah.
That once that mindset comes, the client is also going to accept the whatever additional cost you are going to push them. So accounting software, when you say that you to embrace, you are not going to make payment for that. The client is only going to pay for that, but you are getting the advantage. Like you say that income tax software portal, when it became automated, the fruits you are getting it. You are getting your fees getting paid faster because the returns have been got processed. So all these things I will say, of course, technology, the once you have that mindset to adopt to it, to embrace it, definitely the clients are going to shift because businesses have adopted it.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Kruti.
Yeah. So, ma'am, we have one more question from Niranjan stating, how can ChatGPT be used in a CFO?
So as I gave some examples, that some of the things, it's not ready in your hand. Sometimes you have the staff over there, but you are not free to give the checklist. Or sometimes, a new client comes to you and says that I want to make a HUFD. Now, HUFD, sometimes you put in the files. Nowadays, you can use directly ChatGPT and say draft of HUF. It will come the whole draft for you. So you get the template for it. Lot of time you want to do a comparison between, a client of software or real estate. You want to give a comparison that how this client is performing compared to the overall past 5 years trend. So that all that data, because it is so much data already there on the net, that all comparisons becomes very easy for us. Even for a presentation, when you want to go and you want to make a presentation, sometimes it is hardcore of the client data. But other than that, maybe 20 slides are there which are just telling you the trends, just telling you how the business has evolved, how the sector will do in the future. All this information you can pull from ChatGPT and then use the couple of 3-4 slides which are pertinent to your client, that you can put up. So that is how you can use the ChatGPT. So there are various things. Whatever comes to your mind, you just try it out and you will get that type of templates, information, all that you can use it through the ChatGPT.
Next, we have a question from Varsha, which are you aware about any training programs for CA on use of ChatGPT?
There are, of course, there are so many YouTubers, that they are doing sessions for this. Even the ICA are conducting so many seminars specific to that. Like right now, because what, first of all, awareness or the level, that can be used in the professional space, that is only not there. People have not heard about ChatGPT. So they have said, when I went for some seminars, they said, I have heard my son talking about it, but they don't know, that thing, something they can use it. So right now, I think so that stage is going on. And then, of course, there are some specific sessions that are being there, but then of course that has to be go very sector wise. Like I said, if you want to use for presentation, if you say presentation, then I say you can go for some businesses, they are going for specific presentations AI. So you can Google that, you can get that software, and then accordingly use it for that particular area. So you have to know which practice area you want to use it. Suppose if I said payroll, Razor Pay is there a software which you can use it. It is an AI tool, so which you can use it in combined to the accounting entry. So like that, you have to know which specific thing you want to use it, and then accordingly use the AI tool for that. I'll say not specific Chat GPT. Chat GPT is more spoken about it. That's why I said Bard. If I said people do not know about what is Bard, but that is also as equally competent platform. But some things have been talking more. That's why I am giving that example. But there are numerous AI tools when it comes. It's not just Chat GPT, and in that also there are many freelancers who are giving that specific training. Or you can go one-on-one training when you want to go for your CA firm to get adopted to that technology.
Thank you, Kashmir. That's all the question. I'll just hand over to Dimple Setia for a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Paras. Today we had a very interesting and informative session on professional opportunities for CA in practice and introduction to AI and automation. I would like to thank our prominent speaker, CA Kashmira Nair, for enlightening us about the topic. And thank you to Chairperson CA Preeti Savla and Vice Chairman CA Abhay Chhajar for their, of course, they are not present, but thank you. And thank you, CA Kriti Sangoy, for introducing our speaker, and CA Paras Maru for handling the question answer sessions. And again, thank you, CA Jaya and Chirag for technical support, and all those who made this webinar happen, and our pan-India viewers. Thank you.
Thank you, Dimple. Thank you, team.
Recording stopped.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.